been a while since I've actually done an artist from like The Voice. I think not since Justin Jenks, who did Sex and Candy and didn't turn any chairs, and I was so absolutely furious because like really you need more unique voices representation on that show. Welcome to the Unique Voices Club, where we share artists with voices not commonly heard in mainstream music as an effort to educate music listeners and music lovers and musical theater creators and, just people who want to make a career in the arts. Educate them on the voices that are out there and empower them to embrace their own quirks when they're creating art. Yay. I'm your host, Alexia Rowe, at Firebird Alexia on Instagram and at Firebird Alexia 4. That's on TikTok. I'm a playwright, singer, songwriter, composer, all of that jazz, and obviously music curator. More information on what I do in the description, and we will head on to our sponsor for today. So this episode is sponsored by me. It is specifically sponsored by the Independent Playwright Architect session, where basically if you have a script that has been sitting on your shelf for a billion years and you think the best way to do it is to just keep applying to these residencies, theater submissions in the hopes that they pick you to include in their season, how about you just learn to produce it yourself? And so I teach you the skills to do that based on going from how ready your script is to be performed, all the way up to applying for grants, forming a budget, venue logistics, securing actors, all of that jazz to ensure you have a successful production that you can then repeat as you see fit with other shows that you have. I am also starting off with this myself with my production House Plays. It is the inaugural showcase, which will happen on July 25th in Milton, Massachusetts at the Forbes House Museum. Basically, we take a bunch of small pieces that are written by me, some are not written by me, but written with like local artists, and collage them into a show on the topic of dreams and defiance. So with House Plays, basically our initiative is to stage these shows in unusual spaces, including like a museum and like a house, so that people who usually can't attend traditional theater spaces or just like don't feel like they're welcome there or actually can't afford to, or they can't enter a space because of accessibility needs, they're able to also witness the magic of theater as well. So tickets to House Plays is in description, and as well as all of my other services. And yeah, let's get on to today's artist. Now, today's artist is Mia Zanotti, also known as Mia Z, as she went by on The Voice. Back in season 8, she was on The Voice at the same time as Sawyer Fredericks, who I have written a lot about in the Unique Voices Club space and just generally on my blog. In fact, she collaborated on a song with him. It's called Stranger, which I was totally obsessed with for most of 2015. And I was supposed to see her on tour with him in 2016, back when I moved back to Boston. However, her mom was sick, so she chose to stay with her, which is a shame because I only saw Sawyer. But it's cool. I still have the picture of me with him. I threw away the handbag that has his autograph. Anyway, so yeah, I was hoping to see her, but hopefully I will again one day. Anyway, so Mia Z is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She was known for singing the blues on The Voice, which was on Team Pharrell. She was like 16 or something like that when she appeared on the show, and that is absolutely crazy. Anyway, when I first heard her, a lot of people compared her to Lil from Rugrats. Okay, it's kind of disrespectful firstly, but she definitely has like the whole slurry addiction that you can sometimes have when you're singing soul and the blues. I think you can sometimes hear it with Christina Aguilera too, although she has better addiction than Mia. Yeah, it's like also a bit of Amy Winehouse in there with that vocal fry-ish kind of addiction that Amy has. But her secret superpower, though, is the whistle note. You know I'm Anyway, she grew up in a musical family. Her grandparents had this big band, and she takes her influence from like the classic rock and blues from her mom and her uncle, who are also musicians. Her mom plays the piano, and I think her uncle plays the guitar. But she lists Bill Withers, naturally, and Eva Cassidy as major inspirations for her like vocal ideas, which is interesting because Eva Cassidy always thought like she was more folky, singer-songwriter, acoustic-y, but I may have just been listening to like her covers of Songbird and Sting and such. But Bill Withers, you can definitely, I mean, she covered Ain't No Sunshine when she was on the show, but she definitely blends a ton of genres. But contemporarily, she credits Rihanna, Peter Gabriel, Shinedown, Ariana Grande, and Imagine Dragons, which shapes her styling. Her early stuff definitely is more blues, like R&B bluesy, but her more modern stuff incorporates a lot more genres. So let's have a look at that. This is a clip that's like 12 years old. It's called You Will Never Change.
You tell me you're my best friend, right? Really, you're my enemy. You tell me you were sorry, but really like to watch me bleed. I'm on my knees, I'm begging, please, you hold me down and I can't breathe. I know that you will never change, 'cause you always be the same. Took my soul and took my clothes and left me in the freezing cold. You sent me pain all through my veins. I'm lying in the pouring rain. I'm on my knees, I'm begging, please, you hold me down and I can't breathe. I know that you will never change, 'cause you'll always be the same.
There's like a vocal fry, but like also like it's like a couple of glottal stops in there as well as the vocal fry. I know you will never change. Yeah, it also makes her vibrato also super slow and pinpointed compared to me trying to sing opera. Yeah, like it's very, I think when I'm singing classical, it's like more just like in my entire mouth versus her, which is like I think focused more towards the back. What is drive? I think that's a good halfway point to look at.
Red is a strong, intense, stimulating color that attracts the mind. Red creates the most primitive emotional need for survival and self-preservation. Energy, love, passion, and desire. Strength, courage, willpower, and determination.
Who's gonna tell you when?
Anyway, pause, we're like 20 seconds in here. Her speaking voice is way higher, I think, than like her singing voice sounds. Just a random observation.
Who's gonna hold you down when you shake it, baby? Oh, baby. Who's gonna come around when you break? Oh, you can't go on thinking that nothing's wrong. Who's gonna drive you home?
of like Tones and I or something. She should cover Tones and I think she would. I don't think the song was out when she was on the show, but I think she would totally crush it, and I would probably know what she's saying. So Drive Me Crazy is, it's a live performance.
Yes, this drive me crazy. You could be my baby, you could be mine. You just drive me crazy, but you're so damn shy. I could talk about you, but it don't make sense anymore. And I could be your lover, you could be mine. You just drive me crazy, but you're so damn shy. I could talk about you, but it don't make sense.
Yeah, definitely. She was like 17 years, so she still said like the youthful sound definitely in there. I mean, when I first listened to her audition and my dad was listening along with me, he was like, nah, she's still got the little girl sound. I'm like, yeah, she's like 15, leave me alone. But I do think it definitely added to her uniqueness back when I was sourcing these. Let me find a video that is a bit more recent. Please Don't Do This To Me, which has Violin Speaks along with it. Let's listen to a bit of it.
I was driving down this road when I saw her creeping on by. It struck me heartbeat, 'cause I'm the devil's little twin. All these flashing red lights always find me when
She was experimenting with country in recent months, and I get it.
I swear I can't make up my mind from all this dopamine I'm feeling. But please don't do this to me. Please don't, please don't, please don't do this to me. Please don't, please don't, please don't do this, don't do this to me. Please don't, please don't do this, don't do this to me. Yeah, I've been through this before, and he kept knocking on my door, so I told him to come in, and he rambled on about the ungodly worldly things, like all the money and the fame and the fancy airplanes to the private islands. Got me thinking I should cave and live just one more day with the price to pay.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Her voice would really stand out in that genre. I mean, as we can hear. I mean, especially, please don't do this to me. Yeah, it's like she's trying to have a twang, but it's obviously not like the typical country twang that we typically hear in old country and then also newer country. I think it's more like just from her soul bluesy thing. Anyway, country is related to the blues, so all American music is black music. Yeah, country is related to the blues, so she could definitely translate well to country. How she could work with musical theater, however, is that I'm thinking of like shows like Chicago or like some other shows where there's like a sultry femme fatale type of character in it. But yeah, if you have like a character like that. Any blues musicals? Yeah, there's a lot of blues. Like, I mean, we just had this country song, so she could do Shocked. Yeah, so if you can think of any musicals that are out there already that have blues music or like R&B or, I mean, Donna Summer, like the Temptations, those kinds of autobiographical ones. Michael Jackson even, but like somebody with that kind of voice could definitely lend well to those musicals. Or a country one. The Color Purple. Yeah, The Color Purple. Because she's also a bit jazzy, you can hear, so I'm rambling a bit. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of the Unique Voices Club. Of course, my AC decides to come on right at this exact moment. If you don't know who Mia Z is, go follow her, listen to the rest of her stuff. Maybe you might find another musical influence or another unique voice. It's like, oh my gosh, I love her. I want to follow her career, especially because it's been like 11 years since she was on The Voice. So that makes sense if you don't immediately know who she is. I mean, I have friends who don't immediately know who Sawyer Fredericks is, and he actually won the season. So if you want to join the Unique Voices Club forum, where we get to actually share unique voices that we have shared along the way with each other, and then I can use it in a future episode and shout you out. You also get some really cool merch. It's a shirt that says the Unique Voices Club, and on the back it says educator, so that way you get to ambassadorify yourself every time you leave the store. Yes, I'm part of a community that touts for equal opportunity for independent artists to basically create the art that speaks to them instead of wanting to force themselves in the mainstream boxes. If you want to do that, link in description. It's like $14 a month. Cancel anytime. Plus you get access to older Unique Voices Club posts that have since been locked under a paywall because they're super old, and you can read them, catch up on what I've been up to with that initiative, and also like, subscribe to this channel, follow me on social media. That way you know more about the efforts that we are making to make the arts a more inclusive place. Have a nice day. See you in about 2 weeks, unless you decide to go see older videos, then maybe in a few minutes. Bye.